Hello good people, Glastonbury is come and gone, one of the biggest festivals in all of the world, and I'm here to talk about Kanye West's headlining act. So of course when it was announced that Kanye was going to be the headlining act for the festival, there was a ton of controversy. So back when Jay-Z headlined the festival back in 2009 I think, it was a lot of controversy because he's a hip hop artist. The festival has largely had rock or pop music headline the show. So of course some of that same debate came back up this time around when Kanye was announced as a headlining artist, but I mean come on, he's like one of the biggest musicians in the world, not just hip-hop, of everybody. Like, he's one of the top artists in the world. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a huge Kanye West fan. I'm not saying that coming from a biased perspective. It's the truth. Like, he's been in the industry for a while now, for about 12 years, and he's been here consistently putting out great work. But even beyond him just being a hip-hop artist and people not really liking that, he also just received controversy because, I mean, he's Kanye West. Like, a lot of people don't like Kanye. And a lot of people haven't liked Kanye in a while. Like, he's done a lot of, questionable things. I can certainly admit that. So, of course, he's going to get some backlash from fans and from different audiences for headlining one of the biggest festivals in the world. But enough about all the side stuff, the stuff that's really not that important compared to the music. Let's talk about the actual show. So let me tell you, Kanye West delivered a nearly 2-hour-long set, 30 songs of some of the biggest hits of all his career. I've seen Kanye 2 times live, and hands down, in my opinion, he's one of the best live acts in all of music right now. He never really does the same thing twice, which is something you can also see in his music. He doesn't really like to repeat ideas, so he's always creating and inventing new concepts and new visuals and new things to make his performances each unique in themselves. And that was no different for this performance. He took the pyramid stage, the main stage at Glastonbury. It was already a very, very impressive visual. Like, he had these really, really white lights hanging overhead of him, that were just glaring, very minimal, very stark, just, very different from what we might typically see from him. Because Kanye has done some big, over-the-top things with his live performances, especially like at the Yeezus tour. Extras, costumes, mountains, smoke, fire. He's done a lot for his performances. But for this particular show, he took a minimalist approach. Like I said, it was glaring white lights that just hanged over his head, really low to the ground. It was like a ceiling almost, a ceiling of just white lights. But it was really cool because it made you focus on him. There wasn't any distractions. It was him alone as an artist performing all of his music. So he started the show real heavy. He came out with big hits, Stronger. He came out with that. He started to do New Slaves, Click, Cold. Like, he was just coming out with heat, for like 40 minutes. You could tell, like, after the first 40 minutes of the show, he had a lot of energy. He was just giving it his all performance, some just real ferocious just hits. And then, like, the emotion started to change. Like, about that halfway point through, it started to, like, tone down itself a little bit. So at this point, you can pretty much guess what songs he's gonna perform. He's gonna perform a lot of the auto-tune heavy songs that he's known for. So you get into the portion of the show, he's performing Lost in the World, he's performing Heartless, he's performing, these type of songs that are a little bit, more mellow, a little bit more dramatic than his high energy, intense songs are typically known for. For a second when you're watching it, for a second you think you might check out. I think some of those songs in the middle piece where things kind of slow down, you think you're probably gonna check out. Luckily, he got it back, to a high energy level not too long after he started. And then as the show continued to go on, he started to do bigger hits, as well. He started to do stuff like All of the Lights, and he started to do Touch the Sky. There was even one point where he got on a cherry picker that was just hovering above the crowd, like at least 100 feet in the air above the crowd. He's performing these high energy songs and everybody was feeling it. And that's another thing, like, despite the controversy that surrounded him, headlining this festival, the fans, you can just hear it, they seem to love all of his songs, his entire performance for the most part. I do think the fans were a little bit, more quiet during the slower section, but like, for the most part, they knew all of his lyrics. Now, this is not to say that the show was perfect, because it wasn't. It had some down points. Like, it was a lot of moments where, like, it was just nothing happening. Like, he would just stop and it was nothing happening, and that was just really awkward. And he had some points where, like, he started over songs, he forgot some lyrics. I've seen Kanye do this a lot, and that's kind of iffy to me. I just don't think, a person of his stature should be forgetting lyrics on stage. Like, he should be remembering that type of stuff. And not to his fault, early on in the show when he's performing Black Skinhead, he had somebody run on the stage unexpectedly. You know, and I read up on it, really weird, and he didn't know what to think. Like, he had to start the song over, so that was, you know, that kind of threw him off a little bit. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there were some awkward points, you know, where nothing was happening. He also tried to do a cover, I guess, of Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen, which was really weird. I don't know. But, I mean, I guess I give him a pass on some things like that. Overall, though, this show was just, it was crazy. I mean, he's always delivering big, epic performances, and I think this, you know, goes along with those other big, epic performances he's known for. And I will say, it's not his greatest. I don't think it's his greatest show. I don't think it's even as good as, like, the Coachella show he did back in 2011. I think that's one of his best performances ever. But this still certainly does a really good job to add into his arsenal of just the creativity he's known for in his live performances. So like I said, you know, Kanye, in my mind, he's one of the best live performers in the world. He's a mad genius. Like, he does crazy things nobody else is doing in the industry. He's giving you just over-the-top performances that even when they're minimal, they're still, you know, they're still just striking and, you know, visceral. So I just think he has one of the best, you know, teams in the industry. You gotta give a shout out to his lighting team because those lights were crazy. You gotta give a shout out to the people that kept him safe on the Cherry Picker, his band, his Don the Creative team. All these people are coming together to create unique experiences. Again, like I said, the show was amazing. If you get a chance, go check it out. It's exclusive on BBC, which you have to be in the UK to technically watch, but if you do some Google searches on how to, you know, get around that, which is what I did, you'll be able to watch the show. As always, follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram at JRWTheCreator, and also check out my website, jordanrwilliams.com, for all other reviews and entertainment news, and I will see y'all next time.